Welcome everyone to another video. I just woke up a few dozen minutes ago, so I'm quite well woken up. But today we're looking at some other stuff, and as you can see, I have put in the trade routes. These will be quite important because they will also act as supply routes. And yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing we'll see is that Libya will continue its exploration of the Libyan coast. Now, Libya is going to also start to have independence movements in a way that they don't want to be dependent towards the blues anymore, or the Nile guys. And the Nile wants the Libyans to be, still in their sphere of influence, but also under them in a way. And Libyans don't want that. They want freedom, as you can say. And due to that, they're going to increasingly push towards this way until they're told to stop by the Nile, and if anyone goes farther, then they will be hunted down and their families will be killed, which would really be quite happy. Some people do go farther and they live like somewhere over here. They don't want to start another civilization. They know what will happen, so they know that. They know this. They map this on their maps, and they create their own culture. But what will happen here is that Libya will start its solemn expansion. Solemn? Rightful? Its rightful expansion towards the Libyan coast. And it will do so under the words of their king, who is against his father, but he cannot do anything when his father says to move a certain way. And move in a certain direction. And basically, we are going to see Libya snake across a lot of the coast that they have, and now they are fully Libya. I don't know if I sound weird or something. I think I sound weird or something. I don't know. But we see Libyan explorers explore this area, and again they explore another area. And it's around this time that a large group of explorers decided to go more inland so they can build more stuff. And that's when they realize this is so hard to navigate that they don't even need to do much. But they do, well, by much I mean they just need to turn around and go back home, as it's better on the coast and stuff. But due to them being quite hard-headed, they won't go anywhere yet. And slowly they're going to make a line through the known world, and people are like, hey, where is the coast? We thought there would be a coast somewhere like here. And then they realize it's getting exponentially hotter, and then they turn back and go away. And then another group comes. This time it's a bit smaller, and it starts to move. And slowly it will move until it can't anymore, but it's in the Sahel region. I know where I am. And they eventually just say go back for a few months over here, and they say to these guys, hey, it's hot around here, but there's also vegetation. And the Libyans are like, cool, let's go there. And a lot of the Libyan population just comes with the guys that originally were there. And the way they oh my god, that's quite a lot. The way that they went over here is going to constitute in the combination of them reaching the Southern Atlantic Ocean, and they're going to slowly but surely set up houses, a government, and their government is going to be one focused around the people. And we see our first early democracy. It's an early form of democracy. It isn't perfect, and yet democracies aren't perfect themselves, but well, it just constitutes in a sort of democracy. And what will come out of this will be a nation that is going to pop up around here, and this is Nigeria. From Libya to Nigeria, we see a lot of people going over here. Now, a bit of the Nigerian population did stay loyal to the Libyan side, but they really didn't want to go back, so a few of them just burnt a few maps, and those maps were actually the only maps that led to over here. And this led to the entire area over here being forgotten, and nobody knowing what happened to not the millions, but for the few thousands that went over here. And turns out they actually went all the way to Nigeria, and they're going to also find new things like lions, elephants, and stuff. And they're gonna see that, oh, this is very good. This is a lot of food. When they try to eat the elephant, they get shoot away by the mother. They try again, and then they find out that, oh, they are as smart as us, if not smarter. And then they just decide to declare those animals that they try to hunt sacred animals, because they are like as smart as them, depending on who you ask on the parts over there. And yeah, we have our first full African civilization. Speaking of African civilizations, we see this area right here. Yeah, they form into their own civilization finally. Now they're so small that they cannot well yet build themselves a proper nation, but they're more like a city-state. And by that I mean they can only expand a certain way before stopping, because they don't have any more cities to house more people. They only have one city, so they are a city-state. But they managed to start to rise their population up to a certain level. We see Libya making their move towards taking these lands, and not to be outdone, the Nile guys were also heavily expanding into these areas, even though most of them don't really care about these lands. And we'll see them also exploring these areas just so they can annex them and make a few roads out of them. And they eventually find out that there's a small lake over here that they will want, so they're gonna very much explore a lot of these areas. And we're gonna see something very cool happen, and that's a full-on declarement of this sort of thing being the blues, and everyone just accepts it because they don't care about this. Although the Libyans, not to be outdone, did also declare this land theirs. Spoiler alert, this won't cause any wars, mostly. I'm sure of it. But as you can see, the Libyans declare all known areas over here as theirs. They will also check over here a bit more to see where the guys who went this way, what happened to them and stuff. But they won't know what happened, so they're just gonna turn around. and they're just gonna explore the borders of their regions, and eventually we see something like this. Yes, cool borders, cool borders. And in an effort to fix these borders, the king of the Nile decides to make a straight line that will. Oh my god! Oh my god! This is so hard to make. The king of the Nile will declare that they don't want a lot of bad things over here, so they're gonna make it a perfect straight line. Definitely not gonna cause some Libyans to lose land, and the Libyans are gonna take this as like an attempt to appease them, and they won't be very appeased. But hey, what can you do? There are your masters. You must listen to your masters. As the Nile is going to do something that these guys won't like, and that's declare a full-on want to take these lands from the yellow team, and the yellow team is gonna tell them, "Oi, leave." And then the yellow team sends some mercenaries down here to occupy these lands. This just causes the yellow team to quickly just destroy them, and yep, the Nile just backs off due to this. And this makes the Nile seem weak, very, very weak. Even though they don't want that to look like it, they seem weak now. And this is actually what happens, because if you guys see, this is the trade routes. And yeah. Also, for those who want to know what Constantinople is up to, pretty much nothing. They're just trying to connect up with their friends over here. Definitely not expanding. Definitely not. And also finding out more about these lands. Definitely not. Definitely not. But the Constantinople guys will find out about the lands over here and a few islands, and they're going to declare that they want these lands. And once the red team finds out that these lands have been taken, they're not very happy, but they didn't know about these lands themselves, so they just start to move explorers over here, and they just start to force explorers through the mountainous terrain, and eventually some guys manage to reach islands that they haven't yet gotten to, and these islands will be the culmination of, well, other people that will occupy these lands, and finding these will culminate in the complete and utter full throttle exploration of these areas, which is done. And then we have a treaty being made by the Constantinople guys and the Reds. The Reds wanted more of these lands, but some of the guys over here were quite greedy, so they just declared these their lands, and the Reds declared these their lands. So life was quite good for a while until it wasn't. But the Reds did manage to cheat them out, the oranges out of this, the Rhodes Island. So life is good for the Reds, as they just managed to gain a very strategic waypoint, which they're gonna use. I'm sure of it. They're gonna use it. This is going to be one exploration. And Constantinople, will go over here and decide that they want to occupy, well, not occupy per se, but settle these lands. And this is around the Danube. The Danube is around here. I didn't get rid of this. Well, say, say goodbye to the last piece of island thingy. I don't know. Yeah, there it goes. There it goes. No more. There's no more stuff. We also see these areas being fully explored by our good old friend, the you know who's. And we're going to see that the oranges, yes, the Constantes will send out a lot of people that will die, but most will explore all of these islands. Nobody knows about Crete or Cyprus yet, but I think somebody is hopping islands currently, so might happen. But the Constantes will take these lands around the Danube as explored areas, and they will go along the Danube until they find out that, oh, there's mountains or the Carpathians over here, and they just decide to stop because they want to expand. Definitely not because they are doing something. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not taking over these islands and being like the only European country now that has like European lands. But we'll see another nation pop up, and that's because the Orange Constantes will send out their prince over here, and the prince will found their own small puppet nation that will be known as Macedonia. Yeah, Macedonia. We have Macedon. Macedonia. They are gonna explore these areas and just gonna take it. Because now they are Macedonia. But for the surprise of many people, another nation is going to pop up. And they're going to pop up around here. And they're going to directly border these guys. And this was made up of orange team, red team, and green team guys. Green team guys originally wanted to come over here, so they went here. Met some red team guys, they actually were quite nice, so they went over here. Got over here, and orange team guys were like, okay, we'll help you, and they eventually just settled. So, quite a journey. And they will also start a race to see who will get most of the lands over here. Spoiler alert, it's mostly a tie. None get the lands that they really would like, but well, what can you do? Life is life. You can't really go against it. We'll see the pink guys also declare that they will make their prince go over here and take this area. Although the prince didn't really want these lands to be theirs. He just wanted peace and quiet. So we'll see that he will be quite against these lands, and then he just gets these areas because these guys don't want these lands. And then the second prince also comes around, and well, wait, I gotta do something. And the second prince gets these lands. Yeah, we're seeing very many nations over here. This is the combination of a lot of efforts. Also, for our first war of the video, we'll see that the red team will declare war on the guys over here. And why will they do that? Because it's just funny. No, really, they just really wanted more coast. The red team will invade into the northern parts of uh, the yellow team, Yemeni Omani, and Yemeni Omani will be quite shocked by this, and they won't really be ready for this. Even if they were ready, they won't really see this coming. And the red team's guy over here, the prince of this area, of the Papua nation, and red team, will also be taken apart in this invasion. He'll actually be quite a good stepping stone for the Reds, because they really didn't want to take too much lands, so they will only take what they can, and the Reds will just supply the darker Reds. Speaking of the darker Reds, they're seeing very many casualties, but a lot of land gains, so they're quite happy with this. The people at home aren't happy, but, well, what can you do? It's war, baby. And we'll see that a lot of red team troops will start to be overextended, but well, that's over here where they did this just because they really wanted to, and another force went over here. So overextension my buttocks. And we'll see that the Reds will also take over the Omani areas over here, the more important areas. And now a food crisis is going on that's only being alleviated by the few ships that are making through the strait to their homeland. And we're gonna see that these areas start to fully surrender in mass. The Reds managed to cut off their friends over here, who made currently the largest gains of the war. And we see the red team getting this close to the what was it? The Yemeni Omani capital, and we see the blue team also. They're saying that they would like to take part in this war, so they're going to quickly take these lands, as they really wanted these lands. And the red team will land troops, who will also take a lot of lands, specifically everything that's basically these lands. And the blues and the reds will make a treaty about who gets what lands over here, so they divide it perfectly. And we'll get a peace treaty going, because yeah, these guys surrendered. The red teams get this. Well, they already got that by invading it. We'll see the red team getting in the first ask these lands. In the second attempt at getting more lands, they will get basically these lands. And guys over here, yeah, they took in the first round this, and in the second they took this. So they're now UAE Omani. But we'll also see the red team taking a lot of the gains that the friends they had take. We'll also see a further development of this being taken, and another thing taken over here, which is more coast. And as you can see, the red team just want to coast over here, and once they're done they just say, okay, you are now alleviated at this. You cannot take these lands. These are solely the blue team lands, and the blue team imports their second son, the Nile king, will declare that their second son will go over here. This is kind of a banishment because they're so far away from each other. This is like perfect because they can make their own nations while stepping out of the red team's path, well, the Nile's path. And we'll see that this guy will spare no expense in exploring and taking whatever lands they can. And these are also around the blue team lands. The red team, not to be outdone, will explore these lands, but before they can take much, the blue team sweeps in and takes this amount of land. The red team takes this, and they will also decide that they want more of an cutoff of the yellow teams. Bad news for them is that the yellow team, not to be outdone, and just because they needed more money, will go into more of the Ethiopian mountains and stuff, and yeah, they'll just explore more of these areas, and they're gonna explore even more and take even more. Because, well, who wouldn't take more lands if it was up to them? The red team will not like this development, but they will go over here, and the blue team over here will be like, we expand this way because we want to, and it's quite cheap to do so. Definitely not because they didn't really want to deal with these areas. Now we see something happening, and that's the orange team, this guy, deciding that he wants independence from his father. Now you'd think, why would this happen? Why? Aren't they so close to each other? But no, they aren't. The orange team just imported like larger taxes, and they taxed the hell out of the peasants, and the peasants started to revolt, and the king of these lands decided to also revolt, and he was imprisoned for a bit, and then he was told that he isn't even a part of the royal family anymore, so he didn't technically need these lands. And then he realized that the royal family was quite corrupt, so he told these guys, if you help us, we will declare independence and we'll help you in the future for a favor. And as you can guess, they were helped, and the war went as you'd expect. The oranges managed to retake these areas, but it was at the cost of these lands, and eventually was a stalemate, and the oranges got this, and what was left got this. Oh, and what about these lands? They were already taken. These guys couldn't take them back. But hey, definitely not gonna cause some Mediterranean problems in the East Mediterranean. But yeah, this is gonna be the end of this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.